What's up? What's going on? Let's see where we are. Think we're doing good. I've got some explaining to do. What's going on, friends? Welcome in here. Let's get it started right now. On your mark, get set, go. No, I don't want to do that one. I want to do this one.
And now, here's a guy who got tired of being fired by corporate radio. So he took up being fired by Patreon subscribers instead. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Eric Zane Show Patreon bonus live stream podcast recording. Oh my gosh. As you know, a daily expletive-filled rant covering news, nonsense, and my personal adventures, my personal opinions, my views on the world. It's you, it's me, my brain, and a little slice of technology that most of the time works like it's supposed to. I say most of the time because in the free podcast today, that was not the case. Once I get the show rolling, it's very difficult for me to, if there is an issue, unless there's a total meltdown, that I would ever stop and then start again. So it was acting weird, funky. Everybody was screwed up today because the video feed on the live element of the free podcast was just a shit show. And I think it's taken care of now. You know, and I was thinking before I got started today on the free podcast, I was like, you know, I'm getting a feeling. I actually kind of knew that there was something going on. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, go reset the router. No idea why that suddenly decides it's going to act funny. If I did correctly troubleshoot the problem. And I didn't. And then upon starting the podcast, I noticed there's a couple of things that happened to me that I could see that you can't. And I was like, oh boy, I think this podcast might be a little weird for them as they try to consume it. And I was right. Apparently it was freezing up and that's too bad because nothing wrecks momentum more than that. It's just god awful to try to slog your way through that. I'm so sorry. And the thing is, I talked about a lot of important shit today. I mean, this was my longest podcast, my longest free podcast ever today. It's just this thing just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And I'm not going to sit here and complain. I love it. I love it when I have enough bullets in the chamber to be able to talk at length with you. And I guess it seems to work. I'm getting more and more feedback from people saying, man, well, that's a pretty bird outside. Oh, it's another robin. I got to tell you a story about that in a second. Sorry, I just got distracted by nature. Somebody reached out to me and said, man, you might think that I'm just blowing smoke, this person wrote. But I think your show is a better listen than anything on the radio, including your old show. And I was like, wow, that's high praise. I really appreciate that. And he says, no, man, it's serious. I'm serious about that because you get right to it. You have a thing that you want to talk about. You go after it. You don't mince words. You know, there's no struggling to try to find where I stand on shit. And then if you like it, you like it. And then that's it. That's the only way to do something like this. Then you just can't run out of anything to talk about. And you got to know when you can move to the next thing and things like that. So this is all nuts and bolts, pulling back the curtain, shit like that. But I was so happy to hear that. But my point is, it's difficult to follow along when you have a herky jerky video thing like that. And today it was crazy because man covered some serious ground. In particular, the thing that was the biggest, most important thing that I could talk about was the murder of George Floyd in Minneapolis. And the association of cop with knee on neck of guy that he murdered and the knee of Kaepernick, it all kind of came together in a weird kind of like aha moment. And I love that. I mean, that's true to oneself. That's being true to what your gut is telling you. I'm not going to sit here and be some obstinate, arrogant prick and act like I don't see what the hell that is all about, because I said it before. I'm the first person to say Kaepernick is full of shit, and I can also understand people that were having, and I was one of those people that had a real problem with Kaepernick kneeling during the anthem, but just for perspective, he did that at great peril. He lost his livelihood to say, hey, a little bit more TLC needs to be utilized when it comes to dealing with a person who has broken the law. You know, like the guy who's in trouble for forgery or passing a 20 at the fucking store, probably not the best to kill him. That was the point. And I think that some prominent people did a nice job of pointing that out. I think I support LeBron James's Instagram picture with the knee of the guy, with the fucking cop, his knee on the dead guy, and then the whole Kaepernick comparison. It's really, really stark. It affected me. I'm not going to lie to you. And then I was like, what are you going to do? Are you going to be obstinate about this and diminish that? No, absolutely not. I got some sense. Not an idiot. And I'm just really affected by the death of that guy, George Floyd. This is a bad deal. And I think that cop should for sure be arrested right now and held until, or given the appropriate bail amount. I don't know what that is, but he needs to be arrested, because if you and I did this to somebody, let's say I'm walking out in front of the store and some guy who had just stolen a couple packs of smokes goes running out of the store, and I, as a good Samaritan, tackle him and I detain him. And while I'm detaining him, I put my knee on the black guy's neck and I don't let up. And he says, I can't breathe. And then I kill him. I'm going to jail. And then they're going to sort this shit out. And that's exactly what should happen to that cop. All right. Got a lot of fun things actually to talk about today. That's enough about that. A couple of things are a little bit serious. And then I'm going to end with two really great stories. And, well, sometimes I painstakingly struggle on story placement as to what to do first. And I kind of just let off with something a little bit heavy. So I think I'll get to the good stories, at least one of them first. Okay. Does that sound fair? But first, let's take a look at the beautiful bunch of people that are here. I love you so much. Now, for those who are listening to the audio podcast, this is a time on Patreon when I engage these people that are giving me their money to be part of this thing. So I don't really have the luxury to do that on Facebook, but it's a little different here, a little more loosey-goosey. New Jersey is represented by Brian Callahan. Aaron Smith is here. Kenny is here. Saying, please don't freeze. Kenny was first, Johnny on the spot, and telling me, hey, man, you're screwing it up. It's all frozen. Patriot Nick is in the house. Nick, did you get in trouble with Facebook? I'm suspecting you did a Patriot maneuver to get yourself in trouble. If you could detail in the comments just a few sentences as to what you did to get in trouble on Facebook, I'd be curious to hear that one. He did change his name to Patriot Nick. I love that. The Kevin Corbat, who is convalescing right now after a knee reconstruction. Hope you are feeling okay. Keep taking your medicine. Listen to your physical therapist. Dirk Lee. I know who that is. That first name Craig. That's what I'm guessing. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's who it is. It's got to be. He says, hope you get your video thing fixed. I think we're okay. So let me know in the comments if this is looking all right. Jason says we need to get your Wi-Fi issues fixed. Yep. I'm with you. I sure hope that it was just a resetting of the what do you call it? The router. Aaron says, I was just listening to your audio podcast from the freebie about the dog food versus ants. Yesterday, I caught a squirrel in my garage eating a hole through the dog food bag. I didn't invite it inside my home, though. Yeah, shut up. The illustrious Kevin in Muskegon. Love that dude. Patriot Nick says, yeah, man, there was a total meltdown yesterday. I'm guessing that's what you're referring to about the Facebook thing. Maybe. Shoo, says Kyler Wells. Actually, who knows? Maybe there was a total meltdown yesterday because of my internet. I'm not sure what Patriot Nick means by that. Kenny says he suddenly decides after I mentioned it a couple of times. Yeah, I'm a little thick-skulled. You did, in fact, tell me to redo the router. And then sometimes... I'm oftentimes late to the party. The truth be told, I was thinking of it before you said it, but of course I was short of time, and so I couldn't go downstairs and hit the button. It happens. Eric doesn't listen to shit. Kenny says he's a self-learner. Nah, kind of. Amanda is in here. Way to go, producer Kenny. Kenny says he should have listened to his damn intern. That's true. Corbat says some people get distracted by squirrels. Eric gets distracted by the state bird. Let's see what else we got here. Patriot Nick says that Dean should change his YouTube name to Boring Dean. I agree. You got to keep things above board here. Patriot Nick on the story of George Floyd and his death. Patriot Nick writes, those cops are assholes. Good cops need to step up, calling out the bad ones. Yeah, you're right. And how about those other 3 fucking cops not doing shit? Get them off of them. The fuck is wrong? What are you afraid of? Like offending them? The guy's dying. All right. Megan is in the house. What's up, Mike Franklin 69? Indiana Mike is here, is what it says. What up, buddy? Patriot Nick says, equal justice. I think the situations like you described, Zane, should not be handled internally. These cops need to be tried somewhere else. I think they're going to be in big, big trouble. I'm surprised they haven't been charged yet. That's why everybody's rioting and fucking, if they would have just arrested them right away and then picked up the pieces as it went along, you might have spared an absolute fucking meltdown of a riot in Minnesota and in other cities too. This is a fucking Rodney King thing. This is Rodney King times 1,000. Because this man was murdered on camera. Fucking A. Patriot Nick says, you stated you could be seen on lots of platforms, and I commented you could be seen live on Pornhub.com. And they nuked him. Patriot Nick got called out because he said that. Oh, no. That's what they did it for? Isn't that crazy? You make one little comment like that. You know what it is it was an algorithm that probably saw that you wrote that, and it was a media red flag. Boom, you're done. on Facebook, I can go on there and say fuck, 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 fuck over and over and over again. If you type that, boom, top of the line. How long is your suspension, dummy? So he'll type in that. New word is diet bet number 2 starts on Monday the 1st. So for those of you that have not been on diet bet, I will link it up. You get on there with me and the rest of the crew and put down your cheddar and go for it, man. You got 4 weeks to lose 4%. Meanwhile, the ones who won the last diet bet will be collecting the spoils, the victory spoils of the people that did not meet the goal. Damn it. I'm sorry you did not. Jeez. Amanda says, I'm not sure if I want to give you guys more money. Well, yeah, I can see that, but one day at a time. Just set that goal, Amanda, for 4%. I know it's tough. You remember me in that first week of this diet bet? I was up north struggling. I wanted to eat s'mores all the damn time. Dinah's going, no. I know. But one day of good decision making can lead to 2 and then 3 and then 4. And then before you know it, you got your money back. You're healthier. And then you're like, I might as well keep it going. Yeah. That's what it's all about. Let's see. All right, where am I? Amanda says, I've been thinking about keto, but then I have to go to the store and cook shit. Yeah, that's a thing. You know, you're gonna have to put a little bit of effort in this. There's no question. It's not easy. Amanda says, if someone wants to be my cook, I'll pay you in pure romance products. Oh, I'll do it as long as you put one right in my keister. No, I'm not really into that. Sorry. Paul Forster is here. What's up, Paul? How are you, buddy? Aaron adds to that with, I've never heard of being paid with dildos. Yes, that's the currency. You get dildo currency. Do you think Prince would have been in the streets burning the MRFer down? I don't know if Prince would have been there for that. Dean says you need to exercise. Dean is so right on this. I do 30 minutes of weights and cardio every morning along with 500 push-ups at lunch. He is not wrong. Man, you are right. You got to eat right, and I would say 55% of it, maybe 60% of it is what you eat, and the rest is all exercise. At least 4 times a week. Lee says you need to get back to Mr. 10 Shape so you can challenge more 19-year-olds to pull-up contest. I was a bitch, man. You're not kidding. I was like 39 years old and just like boom, boom, dead hole hang push-ups. So that means you come all the way down, you stop it all the way up. 26. You're not kidding, man. I was a beast. I got to get back to that. All right. Boy, you guys are a fun bunch today. All right. What do you call it? Patriot Nick, if you could let me know how long you're banned from Facebook for. What they probably gave you 30 days for the Pornhub.com blast. Oh, fuck. All right. So this audio that I want to play for you is they just made their debut on YouTube May 24th. So just recently, and they posted a reaction video, this couple, of the wife coming back from the OBGYN to show the ultrasound of the baby to her husband, who's in the front seat of the car in the parking lot of the OB. They've got a 1-year-old kid who's there being silly, and they didn't want the kid going in there because he's so active. So dad sat in the car with little buddy. Young family, and here you go. You know, they're getting ready to find out, see the ultrasound of baby number 2. And at that time, they'll be able to see the gender. Mom gives dad a little folder from the OB, and then you open it up, and there's that ultrasound of the kid. Looks like an alien, and then they're going to find out. Okay, mom shooting video. This was all part of it, and the video was so outrageously amazing that it has made an appearance on their own YouTube page, and it's been viewed like 150,000 times. I want to get this couple on the podcast as soon as possible because, well, I'll just play you the audio from the video, and then I'll link it up for you to see. Okay? This is how it went. My gosh, you're going to love this.
It went really well.
Good. Cried a lot?
Yeah, I cried a lot. That smile. You guys are cute. You ready to see?
Yeah. All right. You want to look at the pictures of your little brother or sister? Are you ready? Yeah. All right. Here we go. Ready?
So dad opens it up.
Baby A. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Just wait.
No. Baby B?
Oh.
No. 4?
3.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh.
Guy.
Fuck. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Interesting.
Oh
why
shit.
I've been a lot of crying.
Oh shit.
Here's all 3 of them.
No. 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 What the fuck? Oh my god. Orion, you have 3 babies.
You're the kid.
What? 3 babies. You're gonna be the oldest of 4. What the? Are you kidding? Are you serious right now? Holy shit! What are we gonna do? Get the house is big enough for us.
I know.
Oh my god! The triplets! Get the fuck out of here! Triplets!
Oh my god!
Orion,
What do you think?
do you realize? Do you realize what's going on?
I heard he's got a big cock.
1, 2. Can you
I
count?
heard he's got a
Ready?
big cock.
Count with Daddy. 1. Boink.
Nice
1,
boobs.
2, 3. There's 3 babies inside the mom's tummy. 3.
Are you excited?
Holy shit.
Oh my god!
Oh, I'm stopping at 2. I'm getting this thing cut at 2. 4. Holy shit.
What a fun moment! Holy shit is right. All right, that's a mandatory watch. I'll link it up in the audio podcast. It'll be highlighted. You can click on it, or just go to In the News. Man, that's great. Phew. You know, this is huge because now what you do is you just kind of like go with it and post some content of mom growing the whole process, and it'll be fun and everybody will love it. You'll make millions on YouTube. Oh, shit. Oh, that is exciting. What I like about that is the dad is shocked and surprised, but he's not like, no. You know what I mean? Yeah, he is full of joy, and he's doing the old, what are we going to do? Well, who gives a fuck? We'll figure it out. The old, God doesn't give you more than you can't handle. Just shut up. You'll figure it out. That is, I'll tell you what, I needed that today. That made me very, very happy to see that. Absolutely love that. Man. All right. So there you go. That is the first thing that I wanted to get to in addition to what I already talked about. I got a lot more, though. Where is, I didn't, you have to forgive me. A little bit weird on my preparations today. Hang on. Quick little search function deal. F-A-L-L-O-N. Jimmy Fallon. Let's talk about this. I thought it was a joke when I saw it at first that Jimmy Fallon, of all people, was facing backlash. It's like that doesn't add up in my brain. What in the world could one of the sweetest people in show business be facing backlash for? Being too nice? And who the fuck is bitching about Jimmy Fallon? What could possibly have gone wrong? And well, it's that old monster has crept up again. Dig deep enough into someone's performance history, and then you must try to ruin them. And I just don't get it, and I don't think it's fucking fair, and I think it's stupid. He is smart. He's not a dumbass like me. He has apologized for playing the part of Chris Rock 20 years ago on a Saturday Night Live sketch. Now, I've been following the story somewhat, and I've heard from some prominent black people who have said, no, this is not the same as blackface. This is him playing the part of Chris Rock. And I'm like, what do they mean by that? And these are black people, African Americans, who have made this comment, said blackface is to denote an entire ethnicity or race of people. Okay. Whereas he's doing Chris Rock. It's subtle, but there's a difference. But that didn't stop Fallon. He went out and said, I'm really sorry I did this. I'm ashamed of it. Boy, I don't know, man. It's like, it's difficult because in some ways you have to be careful what you get behind. Because if a person like me or anybody were to get behind saying, like I am, this is bullshit, you shouldn't have to say sorry for it, then a person like me or whomever, maybe not me, because I don't really have to answer anybody, gets called out for that, and then the cycle continues of the cancel culture. So, but fuck it. This is bullshit. Jimmy Fallon shouldn't have had to say anything. He shouldn't have said anything at all. And in fact, I think it's a disservice when people like Jimmy Fallon kiss the ass of the cancel cultured assholes by saying sorry, because it emboldens them and makes them feel empowered. And then the next person is a victim. We've seen this time and again. I don't think what he did was in any way harmful. And I don't think he should have said sorry for it in any way, shape, or form. Do you remember that movie called Soul Man? Yeah, I remember seeing it when I was growing up. It was, the whole movie was about that. Yeah. 1986 American comedy, C. Thomas Howell, about a white man who takes tanning pills in order to pretend to be black and qualify for a black-only scholarship at Harvard Law School. They should come out and do like a reboot of that movie and have Jimmy Fallon play the part. I'm sure at the time it was great, But I don't remember when that movie came out about there being any problem with that film. This is back 1986. I was 16. The film was widely criticized for featuring a Caucasian actor wearing blackface. When the film was released, some protests took place within the black community. I don't remember any of that. This seems like the type of thing that it would have happened, and then 20 years later, it would have come out as a problem. All right. But anyway, Jimmy Fallon in deep doo-doo over that kind of. I don't know if anything happens. Ultimately, people who have called him out on it said that they want him to step down, leave his show, end his career, sit in the house and hide. His apology was short and sweet. In fact, where is it? Jimmy Fallon apology. And what do you think? You can bandy the comments around on the live feed. Let's see. Jimmy Fallon apology. In 2000, while on SNL, I made a terrible decision to do an impersonation of Chris Rock while in blackface. There is no excuse for this. I am very sorry for making this unquestionably offensive decision, and thank all of you for holding me accountable. I don't know, man. It just feels icky to me to go back, 20 years, almost a quarter of a century, to say sorry for something like that. It's done. It's over. You don't think that way. You don't feel that way. And if you're the person who is making a big deal about someone like Jimmy Fallon doing that, how are you satisfied with an apology that you basically had to drag out of him like that? I think going forward, if you were to do it today, that'd be one thing. You're probably not going to see many people in this day and age because, well, people have a little bit more sense nowadays to do something like that because it's hurtful. People don't like it. But back then, it was a different era. So I'm not buying that. I don't think he should have said sorry, frankly. If he did, he should have worded it a little differently. Say, that was 20 years ago and I was young and dumb and I'm old and wise now. The guy I was then, I wish that the guy back then had the sense that I do now. I know that that is something that I would never engage in. And then I would follow it up and say, however, I am not going to sit here and be bending over and taking it from you people from something I did 20 years ago. You're going to have to get over it. All right, on the free podcast, I talked to you a little bit about this judge. Oh, my God. Talk about how not to talk to a freaking person who is a victim of rape. This is the story of a judge by the name of John Russo. He was in New Jersey as a New Jersey a state Superior Court judge, actually. Superior Court judge in New Jersey. So highest court in the state of New Jersey is where the judge, John Russo Jr., presides for quite some time. Well, not only is he no longer part of that organization, he can no longer be a judge in the state of New Jersey. Censured and barred, kicked out, career over. What could he possibly have done? Oh, man, this is bad. A New Jersey judge was in front of a woman who was a rape victim, and when that trial was going on, he made some comments to the victim that have led to this. Now, this happened. It was in 2016 that this all happened, and this just happened this week that they finally got around to kicking this guy to the curb. Thank God. It was a 2016 hearing in which the victim was seeking a restraining order against a man that had forced her to have sex, so raped her. There was a transcript of the hearing which they used in this to like hold against this then judge. And this is what this asshole said. This is shocking to me. So she's in the courtroom. There's a judge wearing the robe, got the bailiff. He's, at the bench. And the judge says to the woman, "Do you know how to stop somebody from having intercourse with you?" Now, at that point, I don't know if I were her and if I had the nerve, I might say, why? What does that have to do with this? I'm trying to get a restraining order to keep a guy who, I'm telling you, raped me, and you're asking me questions about rape prevention in the moment, right? That's already weird. But she answered him. She said, yes. And she suggested, I could physically defend myself and run away. To which the judge said, run away, get away. Anything else? It's already weird. And she said, quote, that's all I know. Defend myself, run away. The judge then says, you could block your body parts. You could close your legs. See that face I'm making? That's the face you make when someone's really, they're not in the weeds. They're in the thick rough. They're in the deep sand. The ball's buried so deep in the sand, there's no way you can get it out. Uh-oh. So you're telling the rape victim who's trying to get a restraining order so she won't get raped anymore, she could have closed her legs. Oh, God damn it. Excuse me. You could close your legs. You could call the police. Did you do any of those things? No. According to a witness, Russo also made joking comments to staffers about the exchange after the woman left the courtroom, which was referred to as just as problematic. So he's like taking it light and, yeah, hey, look, I told her to close her legs, a dumb bitch. In disbarring this guy from the state, one of the judges said that judges normally set the tone for a courtroom, especially when it comes to sensitive matters like domestic violence and sexual assault. That tone must be dignified, solemn, and respectful, not demeaning or sophomoric. Russo failed in that regard. Following the initial complaint, the lawyer said the judge was remorseful. He learned his lesson and, quote, will not do it again. The judge who presided over the case against him said that Dummy violated judicial code on at least 4 occasions in addition to inappropriate questioning of the alleged rape victim. Russo also threatened a mom who refused to close her address in a paternity case and was unable to be impartial in a case involving his ex-wife and their son, and a separate case involving a man he went to high school with. So this dude's an asshole. And it took this long. A 3-judge advisory panel had suspended him unpaid, and now he is done. Yeah, why didn't you close your legs? What the fuck? My God. Awful. So that's the end of Judge Russo. Good riddance. All right. I got one more story for you. It has audio with it. I want you to hear it, and you can see this. This is another one that you're going to want to see. I wish I could show you the video. Maybe someday if I could get around to messing with this interface, I can do that. But that's okay. Where did this one happen? Doesn't matter. Some kid is in his room watching YouTube videos. 9-year-old kid in Kansas City, Kansas. And all of a sudden, he hears a loud crash, and the front end of a Jeep is in his room. Holy shit. Some drunk driver lost control of his car and plowed into the house, into the kid's bedroom, the 9-year-old kid. Kid is trapped underneath this Jeep while the drunk sleeps it off, and the kid is okay. Minor injuries. But the local TV station, the Fox 4 TV station in Kansas City, Kansas, they went and reported on the scene. This kid is just fantastic. I love this kid. Check him out. This is the story of Jameson Langley.
The wood you see on this house boards up the room of a 9-year-old boy, and he is lucky to be alive. This is a photo of the Jeep that slammed into this house at 2 a.m. Tuesday. Underneath it, Jameson Langley, who had been up late watching YouTube.
At first, I was just screaming cuss words at him. I'm like, what the flip, dude? I'm under here.
Pinned underneath the truck, unable to move and having difficulty breathing, Jameson says he was thinking of his guardian angel.
My dad passed in like January, and I hope that didn't happen to me. And if that did, at least I would be with him.
Asking his dad for help.
Get me out of here. Mainly just that, and I'm scared. I cried a lot.
A paramedic named Chris stepping in for Jameson's dad, keeping the boy calm, reassuring him everything would be okay.
He was talking to me, making sure I could feel everything.
Jameson has a message for the man in his mid-40s who police say was drunk, driving so fast the family's doorbell camera didn't pick him up until he hit the house.
He trapped me under his Jeep for over an hour, and my bedroom and everything is in there is destroyed. Thanks to my bunk bed's destroyed, my dresser's destroyed, my room's destroyed. If you're seeing this, this is all your fault.
Oh fuck. How'd you like to be that drunk when you see this kid on TV? He looked deadpan into the camera. He goes, if you're seeing this, 9 years old, this is all your fault. Oh, if you're that drunk, I mean, that's your, there better not be a even further rock bottom moment. I mean, this is it. If you have a 9-year-old saying, if you're seeing this, this is all your fault. I mean, you might have the notion just to basically drown yourself at that point. You're going to feel like this big. You know, some of these drunks, so they don't give a shit. They go out and do it again. Well, it's a miracle that Jameson Langley is not dead. He has his arm in a sling. He's a little hurt. And I just love this kid. I just love his spirit. I love how he tells the story. I love how he says to the guy, if you're seeing this, this is all your fault. I need to get that drop of that kid saying, this is all your fault. So the next time I need to blame something on Kenny for no particular reason, I can just play it or Boring Dean or something.
My dresser's destroyed. My room's destroyed. If you're seeing this, this is all your fault. It was in the yard when he crashed. And it's
now here he is. Here he is. He's looking at all of his toys and everything's fucked up. There's shit all over the place. And he's giving a tour of his busted up shit right now.
Destroyed.
Somehow, Jameson got out of the traumatic incident with just cuts and bruises, but his stuff didn't fare so well.
That's the screen to that window. And that, I'm pretty sure, was my old Lego bucket. Yep. If you look, there's actually still some Legos in it.
While surveying
his Lego bucket. Do you realize, if you're listening to this or watching this live, I mean, and he probably doesn't have any idea, as he's showing us his busted Lego bucket while he's got a wounded chicken wing and his house is a shithole now because there's a car in it. The amount of cheddar he is going to make when somebody starts a GoFundMe, this is it. This is perfect. This is absolute gold. Somebody, I guarantee you, has already started a GoFundMe. And then you have the element of he's now the man of the house. This 9-year-old brilliant boy named Jameson Langley. His dad passed, and here he is talking to his guardian angel. I wouldn't be surprised if right now the dollar amount on the GoFundMe is at $55 billion because of this. That would make me so happy.
the damage, a bright spot.
Yes! Oh my God, see!
Jameson finding this.
Ah!
His prize recorder the fourth grader played during the school year with the Kansas
I
City
take it all back. He's playing a recorder.
Symphony.
I'm kidding.
Yay!
The thing Jameson is most upset about now is the crash ruined his PS4. And he was kind of excited because he thought maybe he could replace it with an Xbox, but insurance says it will just replace the PS4.
Don't worry about it, kid.
He says he'll live with it.
No.
Shannon O'Brien,
Thank
Fox
you, Shannon.
4 News.
Don't worry about it. This kid's gonna have he's gonna have an Xbox and a PlayStation in every room. When he gets older, it's gonna be like Jameson's gonna be walking down the hall, and he's gonna always be smelling of his fingers are always gonna smell like I can't even make that joke. You know what I was gonna say. I love that kid. You gotta see the video of him too. I would love to get him on the podcast. I think that I must effort that. Have my producer Kenny do it. He'll do it. He'll figure it out. Hey, yeah, hey, Jameson. Hey, man, you want me on the Eric Zane Show podcast? You can tell him it's all his fault. All right, wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Protest.
Wrap it up, I said. All right. That is another day's worth of podcasting. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, you know what you can do. Go around the room one last time. Kenny, all you got to know, Fox 4, Kansas City, Kansas, Jameson Langley. That's all the information I'm giving you. You go ahead and do your thing. Get a hold of me, and we'll get the interview done. You guys are the best. I appreciate you so much. Kenny, I'm kidding. I'll do it myself. Don't worry about it, buddy. I love you, folks. Have a good one. Bye-bye.